Okay, first and foremost, we would like to say all praises be to the Most High Ahaya in the name of Yeshua. And we're going to do a lesson today that's going to help clear everything up for the brothers and sisters out there who might be a little confused concerning the turn of the year according to the correct calendar. All right. First of all, again, I would like to say Ahaya Bahashim Yeshaya Wabarwa. Bless you, brothers and sisters. And we're really dealing with the real new year according to Scripture. All right, and we're going to prove it today. April Fool comes every April. All right, and usually it comes around April during the springtime because most people who have been programmed in the system celebrates their new year during the winter solstice, which is the recognition of a Luciferian doctrine of the earth. It's an indoctrination of the earth, or the time of what they call Aquarius, which is the goat head or the celebrating of Satan, and that's a pagan ritual. Now, what I will attempt to do, if it be the will of the Most High today, and it's not going to take long, we're not going to have a long class today, and we'll actually be able to answer questions. What I'll attempt to do, not just for us here, but for all Hebrews who may run into this particular lesson, give them the detail with scriptures as well as pictures, references, and links that you can go to so that you can do the research yourself and know that our calculations of holy days have been wrong. You have to realize, again, it's not our people's fault per se who've learned some of these teachings in ignorance. We picked up certain teachings once we learned we were Hebrews, but we began to follow the ways of the Khazars ignorantly, thinking that they were following the right way. So when it comes to Passover, in the past, again, we haven't been keeping Passover according to Scripture. All right, but as we come closer to the end, the Most High will give more understanding. Now, I'm going to go over a few things, but the first thing I'm going to go over, I'm going to give you a visual of what an original calendar looked like. When I say an original calendar, this is not a Gregorian calendar. It's not a Julian calendar. It's not a Gentile calendar based on Gentile celebrations. So if we can focus on what the Most High had in the beginning, and the calendar from the beginning, you can easily see the deceptions in modern day calendars. Also, you're going to find out during this lesson that we are not supposed to calculate the year calendar and the month calendar from the moon. And I'm going to show you in visuals. This way you'll understand. Usually if there's pictures and things are shown to you, your mind takes a snapshot of it, you can recall it, and it's easier to learn, okay? And I thought I would do it this way. Why? Because, brothers and sisters, the more we've been bringing this out, so many letters, so much information, a lot of people going in different places wondering, is it correct? Is it right? So I kind of figured if I do it on the base level, All of us can get it today the same time, and no matter who you are, what level of education you're dealing with, you'll be able to come to the same conclusions. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a regular cycle of months. We have it here so that if someone here in the class that's present wants to see a copy of it, he can pass it around and you can see what I'm looking at here. All right? What do we have here? A cycle of a regular 364-day calendar. Now, this have nothing to do with calculating from the moon, which means you have 364 days to a complete circle. You have points 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the changes of seasons, which signifies new months, which the Bible call new moons. 1, 2, 3, 4. 364 days. If you go off of this cycle that I have before you, there's no way possible you can get the year wrong, the seasons wrong, and the holy days wrong year to year. It's utterly impossible. Now, I thought I would give you a visual starting out to show you that the 364-day cycle have nothing to do with the moon per se. That's number one. Now, how do this coincide with understanding Sabbaths? All right? 364 days. 364. Right? 7 goes in the 364 flawlessly. 364, 52 times. You got 52 weeks in a 364-day calendar. Good. All right. Now, there's a few things I'm going to show you, first coming from the Bible. Let's go to Ezekiel. And as you see, I'm dealing with things nice and slow, so that no one out there, no matter if you are Hebrew, Gentile, whoever, you can follow us and get the same information out of Scripture. Now, I'm going to be using some extra biblical text, but the majority of information to give you this understanding will come out of the Bible when you link up precepts, and I'm going to show you. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's read it out of the Ezekiel 20. Go ahead.
This is the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Most High.
So this is showing you elders coming to inquire of the Most High. But let's get straight to it concerning time. Now, as you know, our people who served slavery throughout the earth, and the hallmark point of prophecy concerning God's people, or the children of Israel, was our captivity in the land of Babylon, or America. We all know that we went through that captivity and are currently going through that for breaking the Most High's law. How does that coincide with the lesson I'm dealing with today? This was brought to mind when the prophets came to inquire of the Most High, when the priests came to inquire of the Most High, what would happen to us and why captivity happened to us. Read the 16th verse.
As a matter of fact, I started verse 12.
Start at 12, yes.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12. Moreover also, I gave them my Sabbaths.
I gave them my what?
My Sabbaths.
It says the Most High gave Israel his Sabbaths. Now, mind you, so that we couldn't forget the Sabbaths, the Most High made the 7th-day cycle part of your 364-day calendar cycle. So if you know when the year begins, you know when the Sabbath falls, because it's every 7 days from creation. It never changed, regardless of what, I don't care what they call it, Gregorian, Julian, or whatever the case. Before there was any such thing as Romans, we understood that every Sabbath, which they named Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, was the 7th day. And it was perpetual from year to year. No leap years, no Gregorian, no Julian, no nothing. You count 364, each year the spring would fall in the same time every year. Now, and I'm going to bring this understanding today through the Spirit of the Most High and show you how to calculate it yourself so that you don't fall and we don't fall going forward concerning this particular law, which is the law of Sabbaths. Read.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12. Moreover also, I gave them my Sabbaths.
He gave Israel the Sabbath, so he didn't give this to the Gentiles. So the people that are over in Israel today are not following the Most High's Sabbaths. Read.
To be a sign between me and them.
That means if you are following these Sabbaths, that is the sign that the Most High would make between his people and him. See that? Now, when it talks about the Sabbaths, it's not just speaking of the weekly Sabbaths here. It's talking about the holy day Sabbaths, the 4 change of season Sabbaths, and which is impossible for us to understand if we don't know when the first day of the year comes. Now, the reason we don't know, especially being Hebrews, is because we were taught by the Jewish people who follow the Babylonian Talmud to calculate the year from the moon. To calculate from the moon. And again, it's rare that you would find any Hebrews anywhere that are dealing with the Passover and the holy days that don't use the moon to calculate. Listen.
And moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths.
Go ahead.
To be a sign between me and them.
So the sign between the Most High and his people is his Sabbaths. Read.
This is the end of verse 12. That they might know that I am the Most High, that sanctify them. Verse 13. But the house of Israel rebelled against me.
But Israel, God's people, began to rebel against the Most High. Read.
In the wilderness, and they walked not in my statutes.
Go ahead.
And they despised my judgments, which if a man shall do, he shall live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted.
And my Sabbaths, the children of Israel, our forefathers, greatly polluted. Read.
Then I said, I would pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness, to consume them. Verse 14. But I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, in whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand unto them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Because they despised my judgments and walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbaths. For their heart went after their idols. Nevertheless, mine eye spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. Verse 18. But I say unto their children in the wilderness, but I said unto their children in the wilderness, Walk ye not in